Broadcast. Well, when it comes to working or dealing with a real estate agent, it's really helpful to know the tips that can make the whole process work in your favor. So here to share some suggestions that can help you seal your dream house deal is Brian McCauley from DallasMortgageNews.com. Brian, good morning.
Good morning.
So I think people do sometimes feel like, I don't want to say taken advantage of, but they feel a little at the mercy of their agent.
Right.
So what are some things that they can do to make sure that they're really getting the best deal done, that the agent is working on their behalf?
Sure. The first tip we want to give them is to make themselves a priority to their realtor. A lot of people think just because they want to buy a house and that they're signed up with an agent that they're going to be that #1 priority. But that's not the case. You know, I work with probably 25 to 50 agents in the DFW area, and sometimes those agents can be working with up to 10 people at one time. And half of those people have done their due diligence, they've turned in their financial paperwork, they're pre-approved and ready to go. And the other half aren't. So people have to be encouraged and understand that the more proactive they are and the more serious that they take the transaction, the more serious the agent's going to take them.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. And my question is, you know, right now it's really a seller's market.
Absolutely.
And buyers are having a tough time getting the houses they want.
Sure.
What tips do you have for people? You know, there's not a lot of inventory out there right now.
Right. So another good tip is to pay attention to what's called a pocket listing. And a pocket listing are listings for homes that aren't exclusively disclosed to the public yet. And just like you had mentioned, where it's a seller's market and sometimes people are looking for certain schools, locations, or properties, sometimes these properties are going on and off the market within 24 hours.
Right.
And so if you have access to these pocket listings, which are kind of secret, exclusive listings, you have a better chance and a better opportunity of finding the right property. So if you want a pocket listing, make sure and stay in your realtor's pocket.
So when it comes to knowing what to price your home at, and I know you deal with so many realtors, so this has probably come up, especially on the loan side of things.
Sure.
Is there, you know, of course we all think that our home is wonderful and perfect and that our taste is fantastic.
Absolutely.
But the truth of the matter is there are certain things that make a home more sellable and that make a real estate agent more likely to push your home
Sure.
to sell, right?
Sure.
So what are some things that we can do to make sure that we're helping in that process?
Well, some tips in that area is you want to find the right agent that knows the area. The most important thing, people aren't aware of what their properties are worth and sometimes are emotionally involved in the actual transaction itself. But having a good agent that's honest with you will set those expectations up front. And so it's important to make sure that you get the expectations set up front, but also make sure that your house is ready to go. I see a lot of people that are ready to sell, but their house needs carpet, paint, tile, and staging, and they're 3 or 4 weeks away from actually being able to sell the property, make it look good, and get it ready. So as you are emotionally ready, make sure the property is physically ready as well.
And the other option is if you don't want to invest the time and money into making your house ready to list, you're going to have to lower your price.
Sure.
Right?
Absolutely.
And be realistic about it.
You know, meet those expectations one way or the other. Either fix it and get it ready so you probably get a little more for it, or if not, just settle according to what the agent asked for.
Now, speaking of agents, what about their commission? Is that something that's negotiable?
Right. So this is actually a double-edged sword. The answer is yes and no. The yes part of that is if you are a current homeowner and you're going to sell your property and you're going to use the same agent to buy a new property, then you have a bargaining chip there because you're essentially going to give that same agent 2 deals to help you out. Sometimes they can also become flexible if you're a little upside down on the property or you're short on proceeds. They're willing to work with you. The no answer is if you're going to just use them for one side of the transaction, you're probably not going to get a negotiated commission.
What's a typical commission?
Typical is 3%. But again, that's flexible, case by case, depending on the individual and depending upon the situation.
Okay.
So now you've got a little anniversary coming up, huh?
We do.
Yeah, can you tell me about that?
It's NTAP, North Texas Area Professionals. We put on these events called $1 Million Mixer events. It is a local celebrity-based event that derives around real estate individuals. The one that we are doing tomorrow night from 6 to 9 at Blue Martini in Plano features Josh Altman and Mike from Shouhed Sunset. This is our 4th one this year. The only difference is this one we're actually donating all the proceeds to the Promise House, which is a local charity that shelters and houses homeless teens. So we're excited to give back to them. Everybody's been talking about coming out to the party. We just asked you show up, give a $20 donation, come in, walk the red carpet, take some pictures, meet the celebrities, and enjoy yourself. So it should be a good time.
And it's beautiful up there right now. They've done all the lights and everything.
Absolutely,
so
we're extremely excited about it.
Very
So
cool.
fun.
I
Well,
love it.
thank you for being here. Those are great tips.
No problem.
And
Thank you.
thank you. And if you'd like to get more details on Brian McCauley's tips, check out DallasMortgageNews.com. And if you like quick recipes, everybody, that don't take all day to make, you'll love our next guest. Her new cookbook, Come Home to Suppers, keeps it simple and delicious. We'll meet up in the kitchen when we return.
Yum.